The Spanish River in Ontario, Canada. A premier destination for wilderness paddlers. Come along with Jordan Walmsley and me, Jason Irwin, as we attempt the 145-kilometer run down this historic waterway in late October. The weather was a challenge, along with very high water levels, and we get just a little bit more river than we expected.
Oh no. The river will remind you every now and then who's in charge.
On this adventure, both of us would be stepping out of our comfort zones a little bit. For starters, we barely knew each other. It was only the second time we'd met.
Spanish River.
Neither of us had any real whitewater experience to speak of.
Agnew Lake Lodge, we're here.
At least no experience with what we would run into on this trip. The Spanish River has two upper arms. Our journey would start at Duke Lake on the eastern arm. The run south would see us through a multitude of lakes, rapids, and quick-moving swifts. This was once a vital transportation route, a significant forest resource base, an important source of hydroelectric power, and now a protected park for backcountry recreation. Our goal was the full 145-kilometer stretch between Duke and Agnew Lake. Average time for paddling this length of the river can range greatly, anywhere from 5 to 12 days, depending on conditions. Our drive to the outfitter had taken roughly 6 hours, and from there we had an additional 2-hour shuttle to the launch point. We gleaned as much information as we could from our outfitter. We talked at length about the current high water conditions. I began to question our decision to do this run at this cold time of year. All indications we had leading up to the trip were that the water levels were going to be low. But that certainly was not the case now. Other than a handful of locals that we would see, we were the only ones tripping on the river during this time period. We needed to be on our toes because we were basically alone.
Jordan and I are just about to embark on the Spanish River. Jordan, how do you pronounce your last name?
Walmsley.
Walmsley. I almost guessed at that, but I didn't want to seem like an idiot. So that's how well Jordan and I know each other. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name.
Are we camping yet?
Okay, here we are, Spanish River. Jordan and I are both soloing some big 17-footers here. So it might get interesting. Hopefully the wind stays at our back and the girth and size of these boats will be to our advantage as it sails us down the river. But I have a feeling we're gonna get a mix of everything on this trip. Cool nights expected, highs of around 5 or 6 and down to 0 or cooler every night. So it's gonna be a fun little challenge. Look at this guy, he's crashing into me already. He told me he was a little green with the canoeing, but could be trouble. Thankfully it's a rental. We're all good. We're just coming out of Duke Lake. Can feel the current pulling us into these, there's a little swift here that's gonna take us into 10th Lake. And then the lake after that is the 9th Lake. You're never gonna guess which lake comes after that one. Jordan has already had some success fishing. Pulled in a little pike, but lost it just as it got to the boat. Sure, Jordan. Sure you did. Beautiful. Chilly. Holy moly. I've got long underwear on. I got 3 fleece layers, merino wool, and I still got a little chill on. I think it's about 3, 4. A little bit of a wind. This is going to be a chilly trip, man.
just paddle on by as if I'm not even here. Or make a dorky face. One or the other.
That took us 2 hours.
It did, eh? That was just Duke Lake.
Yeah.
It was apparent that these big boats would slow our pace a little. It was time to buckle down, get serious.
How's that wide angle? How's the wide angle looking? Is it a nice image? How is it?
Here we are on 9th Lake, working our way down the numbers. We were worried about water levels being down low, which they were a couple weeks out, but this past week they've received a lot of rain. Water's right back up. So when we finally hit those rapids, we're gonna be really motoring. Surprisingly chilly. We're gonna need a little fire tonight. Fend off that cool air. Oh, cold. Yes. Okay, signing off. See you in a little bit. Campers, we have arrived. Campsite number 1. Pretty nice. Very nice, actually. It has been one chilly day. Boy, it felt good to get out of the boats. Our campsite has a nice break from the wind here, so that's helping. Just getting up and moving the legs around really warmed me up. The hammock is up. Found a nice little nook for it here. Beautiful spot. They were not calling for this at all. Here we are. So Jordan, what do you make of the first day, buddy? Besides you're blinded with this.
Not expected. Not what we expected, for sure. As far as weather goes, I guess.
Yeah. My boots at the end of the hammock, and we got my jacket over my toes. We have had one heck of a day. First day on the Spanish. It is cold. Cold all day today. We're on the water at noon. We paddled till about 4. We're just at the top of 8th Lake. Not quite as far as we were hoping to get. Tripping with Jordan so far is a lot of fun. He's a cool guy. Eventful. Spanish, day 1. See you tomorrow. Merry Christmas. I thought there was a canoe clearing service here on the Spanish River, but apparently not. You just gotta love that visceral feeling of hauling your butt out of bed on a chilly morning. Nothing quite like it. That morning, after striking camp, I gave a few pieces of my essential gear the once-over. I went through my fire starting kit that I keep in my PFD, repacked my throw rope, and double-checked the seals on the dry bags. Oh, first sip of the coffee is always good. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Okay. Day 2, here we go.
Wednesday. We're gonna make it down, hopefully, through 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. And then after First Lake, there's quite a little chunk of rapids. I don't have a ton of whitewater experience, so that could be quite interesting. Jordan has little to no whitewater experience, so he's a little bit freaked out. That's probably a good way to be. I think we'll be fine though. As a matter of fact, I know we'll be fine. Positive thinking. The clouds look a little menacing. There wasn't supposed to be any precipitation. We had like snow squalls when we were on the drive up here. We had snow last night. It stayed on the tents and the tarps all night long, which was kind of nice because it was still frozen in the morning. Much easier to clean off. It's much nicer packing a cold, dry tarp than a cold, wet tarp. So I'm glad it stayed below zero. Positive thinking. The other thing I miss about the Carolyn Jane is all the custom mounting points that I have on it. I don't have those on this boat. Sun, snow, and everything in between. It's beautiful though. Was not expecting snow. Did I mention that already? October. October. October.
Despite the chill in the air, there was no shortage of eye candy. Beautiful, big rock formations on the banks.
Yeah, this is nice through here.
Here we're passing from 3rd into 2nd Lake through a nice little series of swifts. And underneath the East Branch logging bridge. We're not far now from the Cavanna Rapids, which is the first rapids we encounter that could warrant a portage depending on the conditions. Everything that we'd read about this rapid said that it was runnable in high water.
I see the portage sign there. It's good. It's good, man. It's no problem.
The outside bank, with the deep channel of water, was exerting quite a pull. And Jordan gets a first-hand taste of it here.
Yeah, pull yourself out of there, man. Yeah, you don't want to get too close to the shore, man.
Get sucked in.
Yeah, you're caught under a tree or whatever. Wow, it's amazing the speed, eh?
That brought us into First Lake, where we would stop for lunch by the Ontario Parks cabin. The Snake River, which is actually just a short channel connecting the west arm to the east arm, flows into this lake. In high water, the west pumps a healthy amount of its flow into the east arm, significantly increasing the volume of water we were about to be surfing down in the Drive Road Rapids.
Okay, we're about to hit the first big set of rapids. Hopefully I'm dialed in here good enough. Don't want to go swimming. Here we go. I was just gonna say, on your knees yet? Yeah, man, just don't get caught out in that wide sweep on the right, because you'll get pulled into those trees. Like, it's okay if you spin out into that little calm pocket on the left. You know what I mean? Like, better that than get rammed up in those trees. Like, I'm gonna cut right across left right away. Pull up into here after you come through. Yeah, come right across. Come right across. Paddle. Paddle, 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 yeah. Because it'll just keep pulling you that way, right? You gotta like counteract it. There's a downed tree up there that we definitely want to stay away from. A little fast. Yeah? Yeah. Man, just don't get into that tree. Oh, this is awesome.
Now, to an experienced whitewater canoeist, this might not be the most hair-raising stuff. But to a couple of guys at our skill level, absolutely exciting. The sensation here was pretty amazing. Looking ahead at the downward slope, the boat beginning to pick up pace, and all of a sudden, it's on.
There's a big rock in the channel!
A one-way ticket. This section is roughly 1.5 kilometers long, and there are very few, if any, chances to eddy out and catch your breath. Going in the drink here would mean a long, frigid swim down a dangerous boulder field at high speed. And just when you think you've settled a bit, an even more daunting section looms ahead. I really want to turn around and see how Jordan's doing, but I gotta wait until I find a little channel here where I know I'm good. He's still upright. It's hard to believe we almost canceled this trip because the water levels were so low. At a distance, this next bend looks a little dicey. It seems like a tight turn to the right with a mess of little stacks on the outside corner. I buy myself a little bit of time here. Give me a few more seconds to find the best line. I'm gonna have to brake to the right. Careful not to get sideways here. How's that for a nervous laugh?
A little water there. Yeah.
Every now and then, you'd whip by a big boulder just under the surface. It's a subtle reminder about how fast you're actually moving. It's a wonder I haven't bumped into a few already.
It's a bit of a rush. Pretty hard to pull out there. Stay low. Whoa! Nice. Oh, there's a duck. All right, pull up over
I think we were both feeling a little bit rattled. More turbulence than we expected. I think both of us did quite a bit of learning in that 5 or 6 minutes there. It was nice to get that under our belt. The rest of the afternoon is a much easier pace, with a series of nice, fast-moving swifts.
Oh yeah, it doesn't get much better than this. I need a beer. Yeah.
We're both pretty bushed after a full day's paddle, and we decide to make camp at the top of Expanse Lake. We make ourselves some food, crack a few beers around a nice warm fire, and recount that run down the drive road rapids. We head to bed pretty early. Alright, this is the extra protection measures I'm taking. So now I've got 2 jacket layers over the toes. That should do it. They were a little bit nippy last night. Day 2. Day 2 was something else, man. Woke up to snow on the ground. Jordan and I on these 17-foot boats that sit rather high with headwind. It's tough slogging. I have no issue with that. You know, I like going in 2 solo boats. It's fun. Maybe a little safer too. So Jordan and I made it down 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st lakes. And then did that awesome series of rapids, which was fantastic. Pure adrenaline. So tomorrow we got to cross Expanse Lake. And then after that, we're pretty well into narrow river travel, and the current will be definitely in our favor, which is good because I'm surprised at the amount of headway we've made up to this point. I thought we would have been further, but that's where we're at. See you tomorrow, day 3.